So here is my arsenal of products I'm going to use to accomplish my roof sealing task. The first four here are mainly for prep. I want to get the surface as clean as possible first, so of course I'm going to wash my roof with soap and water like that, and then I'll go along and get any tough stains. I've got some mineral spirits here. Now I have to be really cautious with the mineral spirits as it's petroleum based, so it can actually cause damage to the rubber roof. I went on the site, Dicor site, the people who make the EDPM rubber roof, and they said you could use it, but don't pour it directly on the roof. Put it on a rag first and then clean with that, and then wipe it off right away. Don't leave it on the roof. So I also thought with some glass cleaner, after I used the mineral spirits, I could go over with the glass cleaner, and the ammonia in that should get rid of any remaining oils, and that's worked pretty well. And then before I go with the Eternabond tape, I've got Eternaclean, which is kind of like a spray-on no residue, kind of like alcohol based product, I believe. And then the final step is called a Eternprime, and that just kind of makes a really tacky surface so the tape will stick better. And then over here is my two sealants. I've got the big roll, 50-foot roll of Eternabond tape, 4 inches wide. And then after that's put down, I'll go along its seams with the Dicor self-leveling lap sealant. I like to go along the seams just to make sure they don't peel up or anything like that. And of course, a rag. So I'll get up there and start cleaning off that long seam so I can lay down the tape. Okay, so continuing on with the roof sealing, you can see I've done around the two vents there, and of course earlier I put in my fantastic fan. Now the next critical thing is a leak that's developed along the edge here. You can see this is my gutter, and it looks like they put the gutter on and then used some kind of silicone sealant. And in spots it's starting to fray. You can see it can be pulled right away. I noticed one spot here where there's a crack that's developed, and you can see where it's been dripping through. So it's coming off the roof and actually getting right past the gutter and dripping down. So I'm a little concerned that that might get in behind there, get in behind my Phylon, and then I'll have delamination happen, which is not good. So to fix this, rather than pull the gutter off and use silicone sealant again, I want to try and use the Eternabond tape, the 4 inches, place it on there and wrap it over the edge so there'll be a nice seal right across. So I'm going to do that on this side of the rig. So there's my first crack at it. Wasn't too bad. I just had to go quite slow. Left a few bubbles here and there on the top, but looks like it's got a pretty good seal. Hoping that'll help seal up those gutters. Okay, next step is to go to the back end. This back end here I want to seal where the old caulking is. This seems to be a notorious place where they leak, especially on the corners here. You can see where I've added some lap sealant before. So next I want to clean all this up, and I'm going to use some mineral spirits first. I find that really takes off all the dirt and preps the surface quite nice. I just want to avoid getting too much onto the rubber roof, and anything I do you want to wipe away right away. So a lot of people say you don't want to use petroleum based stuff, but man, those things, mineral spirits really work well, so leave it up to you. That's what I do. I'll show you before and after. See this area around the ladder and the corner, so that's before. See how easily it comes off. You don't have to rub hard or need much. It really cleans that stuff up nice. So I'm doing the work on the roof today from a nice campsite along the Salton Sea. $10 a night, dry camping. Nice place, nice and calm. Got the birds chirping in the background. Nice. So yeah, that's the strip down there, and I finished cleaning the back, so you can see that really makes a difference cleaning that with that mineral spirits. Now I have a nice clean surface to deal with on my back seams. And after the mineral spirits, I sprayed it all down with a Windex, try to get as much of that off as I can, and then I'll go with the Eternabond stuff. They have a kind of a spray cleaner, so next I'll do that, then do the prime and start laying down some tape on this. There, that looks much better. So I've taped all along the back corner there, and the next step is, I don't know if you've noticed this, this is sort of my own addition. What I did is the water coming out of the air conditioner used to just run into the back and end up in that corner down there. So I put down a piece of plastic line and covered it with Dicor just to give a little bit of a guidance to the water, so it would come down here and then fall off into the gutter and go out the gutter rather than pooling in the back of the roof. So I'm going to just add a strip of the Eternabond over those just to clean it up a bit and still give me the same kind of gutter effect. Next up is the fridge vent. So I've taken the screws off the cover, exposing the vent. It actually looks pretty good. No birds' nests or any indication of insects or anything, so looks good. So I'm just inspecting the seal around here. You can see right here, get close enough, there's a bit of failure in the sealant right there. It slits, so that's somewhere where it could start to build a leak, eventually get in there and start rotting out the inside. So I'm going to go clean all that up and put the Eternabond all around that too. So the next seam I'm concerned with is up here on the slide, where the rubber roof meets the slide here. I think I'd like to put a strip of tape along there. It looks like what they did is they used some silicone, and it's starting to peel off. Looks like on every screw they also used silicone. You can see here how it's just, now it can just peel off and the water can get in between that screw. Looks like these screws are raised up too. So yeah, that's not good at all. You can see that one there, how it's a little bit raised up. They didn't really actually put the screw all the way down. So I'm going to tighten them down, prep the surface, and then lay down a nice strip of Eternabond all the way along the slide there. I think that'll really help seal it a lot better than it is. Okay, now I've cleaned that off, I get a better understanding of what's going on here. Not really impressed with this factory sealing job. First thing they did was they used silicone in here, which really isn't supposed to be used on rubber roofs. It's not supposed to stick. And then the screws, you see how they're standing up a bit? Well, I think what they did is they used too long of screws and went through the board covering of the slide and probably ran into the metal beam across, so they don't go any deeper than that, so they can't get down flush. So that's why they had the little block of silicone on each screw, which is kind of ridiculous. As you can see, that's not going to seal, and water eventually is going to work its way in there. So I don't know, I'm not into taking this whole side panel off of my slide just so I can clean out all that silicone. So I'm going to clean everything really good like I did with the other stuff, and then I'm going to run the 4-inch tape across everything. Hopefully I'll get a good stick on this metal surface and onto the rubber roof. There might be a little bit of a gap in here where these screws are, but I'll seal the rest with the lap sealant. Do my best to clean that up. Yeah, I'm not that impressed with that. Way to go, Keystone. So I don't think I've shown you exactly what this Eternabond roof tape looks like up close before you apply it. It's usually got a little backing, a little plastic backing. And once you peel that off, you expose this super sticky surface. And as you press on it, it activates and even gets stickier. So, I'll just demo with this small piece here. As you pull it apart, you have to lay it down. Now this stuff, if it ever gets back on itself, like this, once it touches, it's super hard to get back off. Look at that. Yeah, you're usually screwed. So you can see, you basically get one shot at getting that down there. It's like super stuck gum. And you know, if once it's stuck to a surface, if you don't get it nice and flat, it's easy for it to bubble up on itself like that, and you can get seams. So yeah, you have to, it's kind of a talent laying this stuff down, but really great stuff. I really like it. Okay, you've been a pretty good beagle helper, so you can have a reward of a yummy pig's ear. So we're pretty well done with the Eternabond tape sealing of the roof. Still has some more to do, but I'm out of tape. I'll show you. That's sort of what I've done to the corner up there. I still want to do the whole side like I did on the other side. Well, we'll go up on the roof and check out what I've done. So this is the slide. All I've done is taped over those screws for now. I don't have any, I want to get some stainless type marine screws to put down. I don't have any, so for the time being I've just put the tape right over the screws, and then on the seam I've ran some Dicor lap sealant just to seal it up. But in the future I'll probably pop those screws out, put in a little bit of shorter screws and tighten it down. And then either with the sealant or some more tape I'll go over those screws. And then of course that's the side there as far as I got. I still have to finish right to the end. But my main concern was the back corner. That's where it seems to be worse for leaks on this model. So I've got so the water will hit that, come down, and fall into the gutter and head out. It's a lot better than the original situation there. And then I've resealed my ladder. Show you around here. There's the other corner all done. And like I say, I want to do all the way along the gutter once I get some more tape. So I've done all the vents. They're all looking good. And then I still have my, oh, dang, train comes. Hang on. Okay, where was I before I was rudely interrupted by a mile-long train? Oh yeah, I was at the front here. I haven't done the front seam where it meets the fiberglass. Gonna need a good ladder for that. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to fall off the roof. So I'll wait till I can borrow a nice tall ladder, finish that, and then I'll finish along this side's gutter. You can see where I left off. But I've managed to cover the area I was most concerned about, so that can wait a little longer. I'll probably need another 50-foot roll. I've used 2 so far, so that would be 3 50-foot rolls, probably about 4 tubes of Dicor lap sealant. So we're probably talking close to a $200 investment, but that'll be nothing if it stops a leak from occurring. And that should last. I'm thinking that should last a good at least 5 years, probably longer. They say that tape is very long lasting. Let's sort of see what I've done. It's really nice, makes a nice clean situation. Plus I don't have to come up here constantly checking out the Dicor sealant and looking for cracks, stuff like that. I also found a neat use for the tape was to hold my solar wires in place for my new panels there. Nice. So, it's Ray from Love You RV, out enjoying the fantastic sunshine down here in California. Until next time, happy trails. Cheers.